Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Orla Live for Tuesday, the 18th of February, 2025. My name is Papa Simons. I'll be joined this evening by Orla in the next few minutes, I would say. And I might have someone, I have a couple supposed to be coming on, but we'll see. A couple of the lads are hosting the pastry at Space there over on Twitter there now at the minute. So I'd say I'll have a few of them coming in straight after that. But Jesus, it's been an eventful week, I have to say, because you've seen. We'd say, I'm just going to go with this. I'll show you this here now. We're going to present this now. This is the government now. Here we are. Minister to propose new stop and search powers to tackle knife crime. You get the lads on Twitter now giving me stick now about knife crime because, of course, I was caught with a knife in my bag. Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan has said that. Hang on, I just make this bigger. Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan has said he will be bringing forward legislation which will give greater powers to the Gardaí to stop and search people who they suspect may be carrying knives. Okay, this is in the aftermath of, I think there's been 5 stabbings in the last week. Since last Sunday, in 9 days, I think there's been six stabbings in this country. We had the one on last Sunday week. We had the Brazilian guy who stabbed the 3 people standing at the doors. Then we had another stabbing on Monday. We had a lady stabbed on Tuesday while she was out walking our dog. I think on Thursday we did another stabbing. And listen, we had that guy, Babatundi, whatever his name is, he was stabbed as well last Saturday night. And the 2 guys who stabbed him, one of them is up on knife charges. So, you know, come on, like, you know what I mean? It's really gone ridiculous, like, let's be honest about it, you know? And Jim O'Callaghan, he said on RTE News tonight that he hopes opposition parties will support the Garda Powers Bill providing for increased stop and search powers for Gardaí to combat knife crime. The minister added Gardaí will continue to seize knives and prosecute those carrying them with intent to cause harm. This is it, with intent to cause harm. You know, that's exactly where I'm, sorry, just let me make this, let me come in there. Yeah, okay, so with intent to cause harm. I was stopped with a knife in my bag, okay, after a protest on the 5th of February last year, okay? Subsequently, I was searched in the Garda station after I was arrested. An illegal arrest, I might add. Like, I complied with everything the guard said, and I was still arrested. So, what happened then was, sorry, hang on, come out there to stop sharing that. So what happened then was I was arrested, brought to Mountjoy Square, Mountjoy Garda station, and in the search of the bag, they found a knife in the bag. I had been using the knife to cut down posters at the event. It was an Irish Freedom Party. I was with the Freedom Party at the time, and I helped cut down posters. Now, I brought in letters from the president of the Irish Freedom Party, Herman Kelly, and the chairman to say they were with me taking down the knife. Now, this has been going on for, Jesus, the 5th of February that happened. It was supposed to be finished on the 5th of November, and they put it down the road again till December, and then they put it down the road again till the end of December. Then it was January. Then a judge died, and it's been pushed out now till the 28th of March. Now, this has interfered with my life big time, because I was dropped as a coach by Erdon Gabra in the area here in Clonee. I was dropped as a coach. I coached the under 13 girls. My daughter is on it. And I was dropped as a coach because of this stupid charge. But as I said, it was an illegal arrest. I was arrested. I was walking away. Okay, I coursed at the guard, and there was a few things said, blah, blah, blah. But under no circumstances should I have been arrested. I was singled out. I really was, and I know I was. And I submitted my CCTV to this. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, the comments are flying in, lads. Just watched Eddie Hobbs and Nick Delahunty. Oh my God, yeah. Hiya, Paul. Hiya, chat. How are you, everyone? But as I said, yeah, I complied with everything, and I was arrested for it. And this is still going on. Sure, I'm getting the trolls are at me all the time, and blah, you know what I mean? But listen, what I was talking about the knives, I'm just going to go with the Irish Git at the minute, right? He done a video here the other day, so I'm going to just play this video. He explains it really well, who these guys were and what they did.
Pals of murdered asylum seeker Cuhan Balatunde say he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He certainly was. He shouldn't have been in Ireland, he should have been in Nigeria. The arrested suspects were on bail at the time, one for alleged knife possession and the other on drugs and improvised firearms offences. What a great little country Ireland is. One of the suspects, by the way, was arrested while boarding a ferry in Belfast. Nigerian asylum seeker stabbed to death in Dublin was previously accused of rape in Italy. This headline here would make one believe that he was only accused of rape. But in 2019, when he was being deported from Italy, the Italian media reported that he had previous convictions for a brawl and rape. On the 30th of December I put up this video, Unvetted Garda Lies. In response to this article from RTE, no such thing as unvetted migrant to Ireland. The head of the Garda National Immigration Bureau has said that there is no such thing as an unvetted migrant to this country, and that everyone coming to Ireland seeking international protection is fingerprinted and identified. Detective Chief Superintendent Aidan Minnock also rejected claims, most notably by the far right, that asylum seekers are criminals who pose a threat to public safety. He said the vast majority are economic migrants seeking a better life, and that the few who have criminal records are detained before being removed from the country. Now, if that was true, well, this rapist asylum seeker wouldn't be dead. Would he, Detective Chief Superintendent? He wouldn't have been in Ireland, living the good life paid for by the Irish taxpayer. The NGO minions, the Marxist vermin, the state's very own no Vaseline spit as the devil's lube bitches, were distraught. But it's truly tragic that he got caught up in this after trying to get a better life. He truly was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yes, Ireland, he shouldn't have been here. Mr. Martin here even wanted a GoFundMe set up. And then when news started to spread that he was a convicted rapist. Doza, the far right are so pathetic that they're using a deceased man's story to push their racist agenda. Terry, who's with Newtown Mount Kennedy, says no, fabricates a story of the deceased being a wanted criminal and a rapist. How miserable is Terry? Stupid bigots fell for it and are running around with lies. Now, instead of doing what you're doing and deleting all your posts, come out and admit that we have tens of thousands of people in this country that we know nothing about.
Well done, Git. I have to say, fair play to him. He comes out there and he gives it all. But I'm just going to bring Orla up. Orla has just joined me there. Hello there, Orla. How are you this evening? Looking
Hi,
fresh.
Paul, how are you? How are
Had
you?
your plastic bag on your head before you come on. You're looking very fresh. How are you?
Paul, sorry, no, I was actually on the phone to the Sunday World. They rang me just to check in on you, just see have you been up to anything lately.
No, I haven't. I'm sure they'd have it up
There's a
themselves.
big feature, yeah, like on page 3.
I just honestly, Orla, I just wish it was over and done with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really being dragged out now. You know what I mean? It really is.
I know. It's ridiculous.
And then we have Philip being done last week, a 2-month suspended sentence, and whatever. You know, we have to talk about Judge Nolan again. Ryan was on to me earlier. You know, young Ryan Corcoran, and he asked me could he come on. Now I'm supposed to have a few coming on from the other group there, so they said he'd come on and have a chat. But if there's room, I'll bring Ryan on. He had a protest outside the Dáil himself today on his own for Judge Nolan. So big shout out to Ryan there. Well done, Ryan. But yeah, I was just talking there about the new powers they have for the knife crime and everything else. You know what I mean? And they get just done that thing there about your man. I can't even pronounce the chap's name, to be honest with you, but he was done for knife crime. The other guy who was arrested up the north was done for knife crime. It's gone ridiculous. Like, Orla is looking like Rapunzel with her with the face. How's Orla?
Davina, I swear to God, Davina. Hi, Mickey. I swear to God, it's just since elections, because my leaflets and my posters had to have this on it. Yeah. Because there was another woman running for Fine Gael and she had dark hair as well, and she sometimes had her hair tied back, so I had to go for a different look. So now it's kind of, I suppose, every time I'm doing anything on media, I have to have the hair like this.
And I heard, did you, when you went to the Chamber of Commerce or something during the week, was that last week, was it? Or did you meet the businesses or something down there?
No, that was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. As I said, the one that has no business was in with the Chamber of Commerce.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? You're at the developing into a great person down there, because you're not even elected and people are bringing you in to talk about things. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. I have to say, fair play to you.
Thanks, Paul.
But we have the, I'll pull that up now in a minute. Again, we have Ross Lair on Saturday. I have to plug it again because Ross Lair is going to be a big event on Saturday. We have a lot of the Says No groups coming out with us, and please God, everybody will be there on Saturday. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a few stops or people trying to stop us and doing whatever. But listen, hey, I think it's going to be a great day. We've some great people coming down to talk. I can't say exactly who's coming, but we have some people coming, foreign people and the whole lot, and media. And yeah, it's going to be brilliant. So I'm just going to play this for a minute. This is just 40 seconds. I'm just going to play this and then we'll come back.
Come on, you young rebels, and list while I sing. For the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of a flame, and it makes us all part of the patriot game.
So that's it, the 22nd. Make sure you're there, people. If you can get there, please get there. And if you can't get there, do something in your own area. You know what I mean? Let's just do something yourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, we had Judge Nolan again letting off.
Yes, I've had my little rant on Facebook earlier on. It's just like, it's just absolutely scandalous, Paul. Like, how is he getting away with it? Do you know what I mean? Another suspended sentence. And excuse, like, anyone that wants to read the article, I didn't get into too many details because it's quite horrific what's in that article. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
here we go.
Shocking.
Here we go. Man caught with serious sexual abuse images and videos gets suspended sentence. Richard Hayes, 51, of Ledwell Park, Kilcock, County Kildare, pleaded guilty at Dublin Circuit Criminal Court to one count of possessing child pornography. Now he looks a dirty old fecker. I can't curse. My dad has asked me not to curse. He says to me, "Of course, you don't know you're on the show." And no. So I'm going to try my best not to curse tonight. You know what I mean? I really am. A man who was caught with serious child sexual abuse images and videos on 2 phones has been given a suspended 2-year sentence. Richard Hayes, from whatever, he had child pornography and an address in Kingswood, Dublin, on November 16th. That must have been where he works, probably. A court heard was a total of 33 videos and 84 images on 2 phones belonging to Hayes, which included a toddler being raped. Come on, lads. A boy with a disability being forced to perform oral sex, and a boy being masturbated by a male adult. The court heard that 26 of the videos fell into the category 1, which is the most serious category for child sexual abuse, and 57 fell into category 2. Hundreds of images of preteen girls in swimwear, along with some hardcore pornography, was also found by Gardaí, who executed the search warrant the court heard. Hayes has no previous convictions. Emmett Nolan, BL, I wonder is he the Judge Nolan, defending, said that his client is a single man with no children. He lived in a solitary life. That doesn't make any difference whether you live in a solitary life or what you do, or you're a sado. Nobody cares about this. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest, the Gardaí are trying to do a job here. They're bringing these people to the courts. Yeah. They're getting the case together. And these lads are rubbing their hands. Oh, I hope I get Judge Nolan. He'll get me off. You know what I mean? There's no... Listen, he feels a deep sense of shame and remorse only because he was caught. That's the only reason. You know what I mean? He has worked in the past in civil engineering and retail management, obviously working in shops. Sentencing him today, Judge Martin Nolan said the material found was of a serious nature and Hayes will be on the sex offenders register as a result. He said he believed Hayes was unlikely to reoffend and there was no need to involve the probation service. Jesus Christ. He handed down a 2-year sentence, which he suspended in full. Like, go on, I'll let you have a rant now. Go on.
I just need to be very careful what I'm going to say, but honest to God, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it is beyond a joke. I mean, you know, how many of us are speaking out about this all the time? Like, another suspended sentence, and then this thing of, oh, he's unlikely to reoffend. That is utter nonsense. He's a paedophile. Of course he's going to reoffend. If we cannot, as a nation, stand up for our children, what the hell is going wrong with this country?
But this
like,
is it.
It's just unbelievable. And I feel so sorry for the guards. Imagine, like, I found that difficult enough to read. Can you imagine they have to watch this material?
Yeah, it's
I'd be dead. I'd either be dead or I'd be up for murder. One or the other.
It is crazy now, I have to say. It really is crazy. But
how is he getting away with it? Like, how is the Law Society? How is, like what TDs are speaking up about this in the Dáil? Like, every single one of them should be going on about this morning, noon, night. He should be arrested. He should be investigated. He should be sacked. And more than likely, he should be in jail.
His own laptop needs to be checked. I'm being honest with you. They need to be checking their laptops. Like, this happened in the UK as well. Like, this happened with all the Jimmy Savile shit and everything. Judges letting people away. Keir Starmer was the prosecuting whatever on that. You know what I mean? But our good friend Gavin went. Did you see Gavin's video from the other day? He's the only one that's calling it out. He's the only elected representative. And Maliki, I have to say, Maliki is calling it out as well. But they're the only elected representatives. So I'm just going to play this Gavin for a minute, right? And we'll come back.
How are you, folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and I'm here to CCJ. And today we're going to call out the lowest of the low, Judge Martin Nolan, who's in Court 5 today. How are you, folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and we're here up at the CCJ, and we're calling out this man, the lowest of the low. This man is lower than a paedophile because he lets all them off and the sex offenders off. Judge Martin Nolan. Look at that. These are the politicians. I ban it back. Micheál Martin, Richard Boyd Barnett, Simon Harris, Gavin MacDonald. I think some of the cases that he gave suspended sentences off. None of these politicians will call him out because they all stand in solidarity with him. That's what's wrong in this country. The amount of people that let this scumbag judge operate is unbelievable. If he had any bottle at all, he'd stand up in the Dáil and call for his resignation. The people of Ireland, we want him gone. He's the worst judge in the state. Look at this. Knife seizures are up 58% in 10 years. Knife crime is up 100% in 1 week. And what has anyone got to say? Nothing. How are victims ever meant to get justice in this courtroom through investigations when that tow rag gives suspended sentences? Criminals literally say prayers every night before they go to bed, hoping that they go before that tow rag in there, who will then let them off. That's what's wrong in Ireland. We need change in this country, and we need to start showing proper change by getting rid of him. These politicians are more concerned about the salaries they're on than getting rid of this fucking man. What do we want? We want Nolan now. What do we want? Resign now. Resign. Go. We want you gone. Any politician that stands with Judge Martin Nolan stands with paedophile protectors. It's as simple as that. Get him out.
I love it. I really do.
And actually, thank you for that comment I thought there. You know, but look, I mean, it doesn't matter whether I'm mother or not. I'd still, like, I cannot stand. It makes me sick to my stomach what is going on. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what gets me, Paul, right? Is that, you know, we all stood up for the general elections, right? And people were like, oh my God, you can't let the far right in. You can't let the nationalists in. We are the only ones that are calling out this. Like, who else is calling it out?
Oh, Orla, the hair transplant fella. Okay, Gavin got his hair transplanted. Okay, listen, if that's, who cares? You know what I mean?
He could borrow some of mine.
The 10th of March 2024, open invite to you at the Voice of Wales launch party, lads. 48 Murray Street, Lelanley, Camershire, SA, all welcome. Listen, when is it? The 10th of March. We will see. Wales. It's an open invite for the launch of the Wales launch party, Voice of Wales launch party. We'll be having our own launch party shortly as well, because as we seen the other night, and Anthony came on and spoke about it, that he is the president of Ireland First now at the moment. Derek has stepped aside, and this is great news. This is great news. And like I heard, the Irish Freedom Party are having a rally on the 1st of May or the 1st of March, 2 weeks from Saturday, I think it is. But they're having a big protest for I don't know what it's for now, to be honest with you. I won't be attending, but I know people who have got invites to it to speak. I know I'm not in the party anymore, but listen, I'm a good speaker. You know what I mean? If people reached out, you might go to it, but nobody has reached out. But what I did hear was that that he tried to organise this event for next Saturday, the 22nd. The 22nd is the big one in Rosslare. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Why would you do that? You know what I mean? I'm glad they're not doing it that day. I can't see them getting very many at it now myself, to be honest with you, because people just don't like what's being portrayed here from the IFP. So I'm sorry, but That's just the way it is.
Anthony's coming on later, isn't he?
Yeah. The baby, toddler, children, fiddler say so what they want. Yeah, listen, I've seen this all through. It's going on years, this suspended sentence shite is. You know what I mean? These people, what happens is they get caught, and then they don't get caught again because they know not to get caught. They know how to get around the system now. They still have the images. You know what I mean? Jesus, lads, we're flying here now this evening, I have to say. Really flying now. We're up to 500 there now already. But must be you, Orla. That's what it is. It must be because you're on. Yeah. Fair play to everyone.
So wait to see if you're going to be using bad language, Paul.
I'm going to try not to curse at all tonight now. What's this now? It's upstairs, the tattoo shop opposite Asda's. Open invite. Okay, lads, if we can come, we'll come. S. Williams, that's a real Welsh name, isn't it? But Orla, look at the assholes in Dublin City Council and their response to a request regarding social housing allocation. That's what we're up against. I think what you're talking about here is was it Patrick Quinlan's motion he put in a couple of weeks ago, and they all voted him down 47-1 or something like that in the Fingal.
Yeah. But then look at them with Gavin Pepper and Malachy Stenson. Do you know when they tried to bring up about the crime and everything like that, what was going on? They were applauded. And you know when they left, and then the mayor, they're sniggering and laughing. Like, it's absolutely disgraceful. Like, these are our representatives. They're an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, I know.
And what we were going to be the problem in the Dáil. Oh yeah.
Well, you see, again, I'll say this again. I say it all the time. If they start talking about it, they have to admit that there's a problem. When they bury their heads in the sand and say nothing, there's no problem. And the people watching RTE and Virgin Media are just sitting there. They're just going, oh, this far right, they're terrible, them far right, and that. So we'll see what happens Saturday. Like, a lot of the so-called far right are going to be down there on Saturday. I'd say there'll be a big police presence as well. So we'll see what happens there with the police. See, do they turn on the people? But there'll be cameras everywhere. And also international media cameras as well there. We got word that a certain person in America wants to get involved as well, who actually made a speech the other day. But yeah, he has reached out. So listen, we have backing from the US as well. Trust me, people are watching this in the US as well, and people high up in the US are watching this. You know what I mean? Trump. It is all going back to Trump, but the likes of Vance, RFK Jr., they're watching this, and it's all about free speech with them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Suspended sentences were deemed unconstitutional and unenforceable in a previous case going back years. Okay, I didn't know that. The ones in Dublin City Council are 16 policies club members. Okay. Orla, they represent themselves and their warped ideology. Yes, Mickey Tip.
Yeah, Daniel.
I'm going to be honest, the only ones calling out anything in that council in the DCC is Malachy, Gavin, and probably what's his name? Sutherland. Is that his name? Sutherland from Ballyfermot.
Who?
Sutcliffe. Phil Sutcliffe.
Yeah.
They're the only ones. Yeah.
Again, national.
Yeah. All nationalists. Yeah.
We're the only ones calling anything out.
Yeah. What's this now? It doesn't matter if you work in a shop or have a solitude life. Zero tolerance or excuse for any of these online pornographic image of children. It's why would you come on? Like, you're sick in the mind if you have these sort of things. You're sick. That's what's wrong with you. You have a sick head. And now this LGBTQXTI bleeding alphabet soup gobshites are pushing to put P into it now. LGBTQP for paedophilia. Paedophilia is a sickness. LGBTQ is an ideology. That's another sickness. These people need help. They don't, they're more to be pitied than they are anything else. You know what I mean?
They're going to be labelled as a minor. What is it? Minor
attracted person. MAPS. That's exactly what
a MAP. Yeah, minor attracted person. Yeah. To make it, we call them dirty, filthy paedophiles.
Yeah,
that's the correct name.
That's what we call them. Make Era great again. Mega. Well done, Siobhan. Yeah, we are. And these are the caliber of people, politicians who want these positions are unqualified and unsuitable for the positions, but popular enough locally to get the votes. Yeah. Well, We got
You
word.
see, that's where I made the mistake, Paul. I didn't care about the old potholes.
I didn't course, did I? That's a few cents in the swear jar now, Paul. I didn't course. No, I didn't. No, I did not course.
I don't know if you did.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm trying my best. That means suspended sentence means no sentence. It's a mind trick for the normies. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
MAP, M-A-P. Yeah. But we're listening through we're living through Black Mirror. Yeah. What's this there? Is there something going down at the GPO this Friday at 12:30? I think there is. Yeah.
What's that?
I think it's 12:30 or 1 o'clock. They're going to have some dancing and singing and just to bring culture back into the country, like, you know what I mean?
Is it actually going to be Irish? Because every time I see the GPO, there's a load of Muslims outside it, singing and dancing and praying and whatever
they should be run from the GPO. Like the people who died at that GPO,
I know.
For Muslims to come in here and take over this country, you know? We all need mega hats. Paul, can you play a quick tune on the piano? I would. But,
if it was real.
My fingers. You Serena just said you did, Paul. Oh, I'm so sorry if I did, because I didn't mean to. And my dad will be on to me now giving out. Hi, Sheepdog and Selena. Indoctrination in schools trying to normalise paedophilia. It's true. And what I'm going to do is I have sorry, just go on, keep talking there for a minute. Bum. Yeah,
but like it's just beyond a joke. As I said, if it wasn't for the nationalists, none of this has been called out properly. Like, do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And I don't even know if the likes of Carol Nolan and Matthew McGrath, do you know, are they calling it out? Because this should be highlighted every single time they're in the Dáil, because that's how serious this is. You know, we're dealing with children. This is horrific abuse. You can't get any worse than this.
Exactly. And as I was saying, the indoctrination in schools to try to normalise paedophilia, that's exactly what this is. Bloody roaded boys, sorry. Oh, okay. Hello, Frank. Muslims outside the GPO, it's a disgrace, yeah. And what they were doing a couple of weeks ago was they were cutting hairs. They were being charitable. They were cutting hairs and then they were giving out these leaflets for Allah and Islam and all this crap. So make Ireland anti-minor attracted people. Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
Hang in there, Fitzy. They are only trying to wear you down, mate. From what I hear, there's no charge. No, it's a bullshit Mickey Mouse charge, and I've explained it to you already. But what I will be doing is, after this court case, I will be releasing the video of the arrest. I will be releasing that video. That video, I had a body cam on, and that video recorded everything. So the whole arrest, from the time he said, Are you going to comply? And I told him, yes, I'm going to comply. I'm hardly going to not comply. And you'll get them 6 feckers to lift me into the van. And he told me he can handle himself. He was a smart arse, you know what I mean? He was trying to get one over on me, and I was trying to get one over on him while I was walking away. He saw I was walking away. He followed me. He punched me 3 times in the back. And then he arrested me while I was still walking away. So this should be an open and shut case. This should be thrown out. And if it's not thrown out, I will be going further about it. I will. Don't you worry. 400,000 children gone missing in Ukraine. Yes. And I think I played the video last week of... I'll play it again now in a while. But I just wanted to... How many Paul?
Yeah, because how many children are coming in to this country as well with no adults with them? Like, how do we know what's happening to those children?
We don't know. That's the thing.
We don't know.
The IPASS numbers are not just given. They're giving children every week, but they're not telling you whether they're with adults or they're not with adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just wanted, as I was talking about a minute ago, the LGBTQ GTI crowd. There was a thing on BBC the other night, and a doctor spoke out about this. I'm just going to spoke out about that a man can't become a woman. So we'll just play this.
I will say this categorically, that you cannot change your sex. I was rather hoping that you'd be interested in my opinion as a biologist, which just seems rather more important, because I've got to say
I'm just saying it only because the issue of academic freedom isn't solely
I'm about to say something that will mean that you'll probably want to edit the programme when I finish, but basically...
Right, OK, we're all braced for it.
I will say this categorically, that you cannot change your sex. Your sex actually is there in every single cell in the body. You have a chromosomal sex, you have genetic sex, you have hormonal sex, you have all sorts of different kinds of psychological brain sex. They're all different. And we are very confused about this, unfortunately. And regrettably, it's got into this argument that people are will now accuse me of being transphobic.
Well, obviously there are trans people who say you absolutely can do that.
Well, unfortunately, you can't say this publicly. This is one of the big problems. Even saying this on this programme undoubtedly will result in my getting a huge amount of hate mail. It always does. But I do think it's a big issue about the attitudes. There are, of course, issues which are important about young people who are confused about their sex, but we won't go down that route here. But it does affect a whole lot of issues in schools and elsewhere in our society. Of course, we should accept people as they are. Overall, I think it's a very sad thing that we can't discuss biological science without actually getting completely caught up emotionally with something which is really completely wrong.
Mickey Tip is probably putting up there. That doc is only talking common sense. That's the thing. We are all talking common sense. Listen, I worked with a guy for 14 years, and then all of a sudden he became a woman. Like, he was a sad individual. And that's what this is. They're putting these sad individuals on a pedestal now because they turned into women. You know what I mean? The same guy met the president only last year or the year before. You know what I mean? Because he's trans. And then you have, what's her name? That horrible, horrible woman, Ruth Coppinger. I hate her. She's a horrible woman. She's anti-woman. She's not out giving out about knife crime. She's not out about giving out about these people being raped, these kids being raped and tortured. There's nobody talking about this. You know what I mean? None of the TDs. And she's an elected TD now as well. You know what I mean? But they're all, again, if you talk about it, it's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why do trans people like they have an authority to correct the rest of the world? Exactly. This is my point, okay? You can be whatever you want to be. You can be a tree. You can stand in a bucket of water and try and grow yourself if you want to. You can do whatever you want. But don't try and make me believe that you're a tree. Okay? Don't try and make me believe that a man is a woman, because that's biology. Doesn't happen. Men can't become women. Women can't become men. You can dress up in suits and act like a man. You can dress up in a dress. But that's as far as it goes. You cannot. And in Cabra last year, I think it was, they changed the on the door of there used to be a breastfeeding class, and they changed it to chest feeding. Chest feeding. It's like trying to get milk out of a bleeding bull. Come on, it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It just does not happen. Trans is satanic. Everything God ordained is reversed by satanic agenda. It is, and it's 1%. 1% is pushing this. You know what I mean? She's a sick woman, Ruth. Dennis McGrath. Obviously, you know her, Dennis. She is a sick woman. And she's another one that's on the trans train as well, because 3 of our nephews are nieces now. You know what I mean? Like, I have pictures of them. I was up at I couldn't believe it. There was one of them walking around with a beard, a little goatee beard, and a pair of stockings and suspenders on. Come on, lads. Really is. And this was in the middle of the Count Centre in June. Like, you know what I mean? I heard lad Charles today is the head of a gang in Balbriggan, and it's only going to escalate. I'm told locals out there, residents and businesses owners, are terrified of the black mafia out there. What are they called? The Black Axe Gang, they call themselves.
Black Axe Gang, yeah. But isn't that called Black Brigand now? Isn't that the nickname of it now?
Yeah. There you go. JD in Paris meeting Macron's wife, face on him. He wouldn't kiss her. Did you see that? Did you see when JD he shook her hand? That was it. He wouldn't kiss her. So Candace Owens is coming out with all this stuff about her being a man and everything.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? She
yeah.
has the traits. Yeah. She has
bit like
traits.
Big Mike.
Every parish in Ireland should have buses going down there every Sunday and to knock. And you're right. My ma actually asked me last week, could you come with me on Saturday? She thought we were going to knock this week. So maybe next week, ma, we might go. Sheep costumes, cosplay and festival in Switzerland. Yeah. Maybe Christians need to stop calling people sheep. Maybe. Anyway, anyone of interest to come, lads, to the Voice of Wales launch party. We'll see if we listen. I'm up for a few gargles, go over and meet a few people. We'll see. Does Anthony want to come, or we'll see? Yeah. No surprise. They pick lefties though. Yeah. I'm always autocorrect for now, like blah blah blah. Ruth and Paul Murphy were good on the
Oh,
water
yeah.
charges. That's about it.
Remember he had the baby and he wouldn't say whether the baby was a boy or girl. That the baby would decide whether it was going to be a boy or a girl.
Who calls their baby Juniper? Will you
Well,
get
has he decided that the baby is a girl? Because the last I heard, the baby was to decide
for him.
himself.
Has the baby got a willy? Well, then it's a boy. If it has a
vagina.
Has the other, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to say
That's
it.
not word, Paul.
And my dad might give out to me for that as well. He doesn't like me talking like that.
Well, that's the correct word.
Yeah, yup, Black Brigand, Daniel the Lion. Yeah, there you go. Chest feeding is child abuse. A child's well-being shouldn't take the back seat to a grown man's feelings who thinks he is or isn't. Yes, Satan is turning our Irish men into women. It's true. It's true. Please leave our Irish men alone. We are Irish women, need our Irish men to protect us. And they have dumbed down the Irish men that much. Like, they need to be coming to these protests as well. And I got to say it again, the people of Rosslare need to come out and help us on Saturday as well. It can't be all of us just going down there all the time, you know what I mean? Can't be. Fair play, and that's how to treat them. Yeah, or remember that. Yeah, hang on. Is anyone else getting sick of Gerard Hutch media attention? Come on for, I can't, of course. The election was 3 months ago and he didn't get in. He's not 007, for sake. Okay, listen, let's go back to Gerard Hutch. Gerard Hutch was put in there to stop Malachy getting in.
Yeah, we know that, yeah.
Malachy was a shoe-in. A shoe-in. And they could not have Malachy. You know what I mean? They couldn't. They couldn't. Pino head. Jesus. Stop putting stuff in the comments that is making me coarse, lads, will you? Juniper.
Too much temptation for Paul.
Yeah. Adam and Eve.
I haven't seen any videos in relation to Jerry Hutch. I must have missed them. Why? What's he doing? Like, what's going on that he's getting all this media attention?
Another 10 cents again, Paul. Oh, yeah, but I was reading the comment. I didn't do it on my own. But
well, I think he said feck's sake. I think he said feck's sake. That's good enough for Mr. Doyle.
Exactly. Yeah. But
yeah, go back there to Jerry Hutch. What's going on? Like, I mean, why is he getting all this immediate attention?
It's just the immediate attention he's getting over this, that, and the other. Sure, he's taking pictures with different fellas and putting them up, and it's just bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he came in, he done a job, and he legged it, and he done the job, and he was successful with the job. You know what I mean? So I've no interest in it now, to be honest with you. I really haven't. You know what I mean?
Well, he sold his country. That's exactly what he did. He went in to stop another nationalist from coming in.
Exactly. So now you have it. That's exactly what he done.
You know.
But, yeah, is that your? I'm just looking there. Actually, Malachy's young fella spoke about this fella.
Another day, another development in this ridiculous country. A man by the name of Jeffrey Bangu has been arrested and charged with assault in connection with the stabbing on Valentine's night. Jeffrey Bangu was also arrested in 2022 in possession of a homemade shotgun. It's also been reported that the victim, Mr. Babatunde, was charged with rape in Italy a number of years ago, was issued a deportation order, fled to the UK and subsequently ended up in Ireland as an asylum seeker, where all the major government parties, all the so-called opposition parties and every leftist weasel in between was out on the streets welcoming people like him in. People like Aidan O'Riordan were arrogantly asking why he would speak to the people of East Wall when they expressed their concerns about an asylum centre being planted in the middle of the community.
Issue down in East Wall. Have you spoken to any of the protesters down there?
No.
Why is that?
Why would I?
Sorry?
Would I?
Why would you not speak to local people with concerns from East Wall?
Yeah, I'm finished now, alright, thanks very much. Thanks.
You're not going to speak to me anymore?
No, I've said what I have to say, thanks.
So why wouldn't you speak to the people of East Wall that are protesting?
I've said what I've had to say. I'm happy with what I said to you now. I'm finished now.
Well, genuine Irish people at their dinner tables and in the pub are expressing concern about this kind of thing happening, despite being called every name under the sun. Irish people and genuine immigrants should not have to tolerate this, and they certainly shouldn't have to pay for it. This is in the same week a man pleaded guilty to walking out of an apartment complex with a 5-year-old under his arm.
Yeah. Like, how far did that? By the way, that's Rob. That's Malachy's son, Rob. So,
right, okay.
In case anyone doesn't know, yeah, that's Malachy's son, yeah. But, yeah.
But there's the question again, right? So that guy was up on rape charges in Italy. How, again, did he get into this country?
What do you mean? He just walked in. He just
See,
walked
there you
in.
go. So much
Like,
for border control. So much for checks. So much
but
for
there's
vetting.
no, but this is it. There's no vetting. There's no vetting. We've been saying this for the last 2 years.
I
85%
know.
of them coming in have no passports. How are they being
I
vetted?
know.
And
Yeah.
as someone just said there, the death penalty was brought in for rape in Nigeria.
Mhm.
They're all coming here. Now, I'm not saying all Nigerians are rapists, but the
Mhm.
ones that are coming in here without passports are definitely into seedy things. You know what I mean? They really are. Patrick Quinlan can't get the stats or breakdown of housing. Nobody can. Orla RT released a documentary of his claim to fame last week. It shows the trail from when he was a child all the way through to competing in the elections. 2-part series, second episode out tomorrow. That's what they're talking about, the Jerry Hutch one.
Ken, I'm sorry to say I don't have RTE.
Yeah, I don't watch RTE either. My dad actually rang me. It must have been on the other night. Was it on last night? Because my dad rang me last night and said it to me, or it could have been Sunday night. He says to me, I'm just watching that Jerry Hutch thing, blah, 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 blah. I said, Dad, I don't watch RTE. And I don't. But you know what I did watch? Do you know what I did watch? Say Nothing. Have you seen Say Nothing? It's about the IRA, about the Price girls, the 2 girls that done the bombings in London.
No.
Brilliant. Well worth a watch. It's on Disney Plus. It's on Netflix as well. But,
all right.
It's brilliant.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Brilliant. Now, I would highly recommend it. But Frank Barron, correction, his name was Gaydon O'Queerdon. Yeah, that's Aidan O'Riordan, right? This is again Aidan O'Riordan. He's standing on that bridge there. I remember that interview. We were actually down in East Wall the night of that interview, and he was up with the Refugee Welcome Committee, wearing his Refugees Welcome Bows stupid leading thing he was wearing, his jersey. And again, there's Bowes. Why did Bowes get to play in the Aviva Stadium last Sunday? I'll tell you why. Because of the Welcome Refugee Brigade. That's why. Like Bowes, like Shamrock Rovers are the champions. Like, you know what I mean? So, or not Shamrock Rovers. Sorry, Shelbourne are the champion. Isn't Shelbourne that's the champion? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. Why didn't they play? Why didn't they play the opening match? I know they're 2 big clubs and everything, but that's why. Because of the Refugee Welcome Committee. Paul and Orla, you're nice people, but we have lost the battle. Ireland is destroyed. Very sad. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Martin, we're trying to rectify that at the moment. We are trying to rectify that. And there's a lot of us involved in this movement now. We have a movement now, the Patriots of Ireland, and we are going to push now for not just any old protests. We're going to get organised. We are organised. And Rosslare on Saturday will be the litmus test for us. You know what I mean? So, it's John Lennon's Imagine on steroids with no thought for consequences. Yeah, it's true. Traitor MacDonald, what's that say? Hang on about that. Traitor MacDonald in the Dáil shooting her mouth off about Dublin not being safe, jumping on the bandwagon now when it can't be denied. She must think we're stupid. Worst opposition. They're all the same parties.
I know.
Parties, every one of
She's
them.
the one that wanted all the refugees and go around her hijab and everything. She's some hypocrite.
Who are you telling? That JD Vance there. I have it. I'll talk. We'll do that now in a minute. But let me just see. I've pulled up stuff there. Yeah, just bear with me there. Yeah.
But I've seen a few comments about, we'll say that man that was stabbed, that was killed. Like, he was obviously killed by another refugee. Where's all the brigade out? Refugees welcome, because you've had one refugee kill another. Do you know what I mean? Where's any of them out? Not a word out of them. They're all, do you know what they're crying over? It wasn't an Irish person. That's what they're crying over.
What was this now? I was in a local court recently. The guards looked for ID from him when stopped. He admitted he had torn up his passport months before he was charged. In the meantime, he got a PPS card and gets 113 quid a week. You couldn't write this script. God. But here's this sham gobshite. Hang on, I just closed that there. No such thing as unvetted migrant to Ireland. Now, this is the top guard. This is the top guard. Now, I can tell you now, right? I know for a fact, okay, that they're not vetted. Last year, I don't know whether you'd seen it or not, I'd done a few videos outside Merchant's Quay on the quays there. What was happening every Tuesday morning, the guy from the Refugee Council of Ireland, the baldy guy, he was in there from 9:30 to 12:30. Okay, the place was closed and the buses were pulling up outside Merchant's Quay. and they were doing them in there. And what they were doing was they were processing them through there, so they weren't going over to the iPass centre and people weren't seeing them, but they were going in there, busloads of them, straight from the airport and going in there, and they were being processed there. So there's no way that they're being vetted. I had another person told me he worked as security in the airport and he were finding 300 passports in the toilet a day. Now, listen, it's very easy to get 300 guys in a room and just walk in with their passport and go, come here for a minute, which one are you, blah, blah, and call the names. If you don't answer, they go back. End of story. They shouldn't be coming in here anyway. And Ryanair was supposed to bring in laws and fines. And
but Michael O'Leary said it as well. He said the passports were in the bathrooms, been torn up and all that. He said it as well. And like we've had rapists in, we've had murderers in, we've had terrorists in. You know, that's all been up on news articles. How, like again, they all got in. How did they get in when they've all criminal records? You know, if there was any proper border control or vetting, they wouldn't be allowed in.
None. But this has just proven it. This has proven it over the last couple of weeks. So the guy who stabbed the people in Stony Batter got a deportation order in 2022 and he's still here. He got done for 4 years worth of drugs and he was out on bail. Like, deportation is not deportation.
No, it's not.
Why don't all these refugees welcome lot just lay down naked at the borders, offering themselves to the jihadists? Listen, hey. But listen, why aren't they putting them up? Why do we have to put them up? Why are they getting our houses? You know what I mean? We got word last night. We got a message last night and from, well, I didn't get it. Somebody else got it in our group that they were having a secret meeting in Airfield Club about Crown Paints with a local councillor called Daryl Barron. He lives in Airfield. I think his wife's a guard. I'm not sure. I think she is, yeah. But he called a meeting down in Airfield Club for the 25th, I think. So is that Friday? No, what are we today? The 18th. No, next week. It'll be Monday. And we all got onto Airfield Club. We got wind of it, and we got onto Airfield Club, and we got onto Daryl Barron this morning. We sent emails and what have you to him, voicemails, the whole lot. And Airfield Club came out and said that under no circumstances will any meetings be held in there regarding Crown Paints. Which, and I'm going to put it out to everyone as well. Any club or GAA club that's in the area or any hall that's in the area, don't do any meetings, any secret meetings behind any of the people at Coolock's back, because I'm going to be honest, you don't want 1,000 of us marching on your premises because you'll get nothing. You know what I mean? Your premises will be closed down. You know what I mean? You work with the people, or you're either with us or you're against us. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like the buildings across the road from Crown Paints. There's Burger King, there's the Plex, there's Power City, there's the big cinema, the big huge cinema, the UCI or whatever it's called. They are all going to lose business. And we've been speaking to their managers in there and they've told us that they're going to lose business. You know what I mean? So nobody wants it. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring these in secret meetings just to dot the T's and dot the I's and the T's to say, oh, we have spoken to people in the area and the people are all on board. This guy, Daryl Barron, I think is the head, or he's the chairperson of the, what's it called? It's the Dublin North, whatever it's called. What's the plague called? The Northside Partnership, it's called. And he's the chairperson of that. Now, everyone that's on that committee, everyone that's on that Northside Partnership is part of the Refugee Welcome Committee. There's not one of them that's against this iPass centre. So what they're doing is they're going into the GAA clubs, they're going into the different places, and they're spinning people yarns. These people, it's good for the area, and it'll bring up this, and it'll bring up nothing. It'll bring up rapes and everything else. That's all it'll do. I actually have more stuff there. I'm gonna just, no, it's not there. I'll have a look. But I downloaded the stuff earlier just to have a look. But you sent me on stuff there, didn't you? For
yeah, I sent you on on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Right. I'm just gonna run with this for a minute, right? Okay. This is more shite that's going on in the local areas, right? Here we are. Carrickmacross. That was yesterday. Carrickmacross, alleged attempted mugging around the lower Main Street. Getting reports of an attempted mugging of an elderly man around 8 o'clock last night by a gang of foreign youths. They allegedly tried to get his wallet, but he fought them off. Like, that's only one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's only one. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah, Carrick McCross. That's Monaghan.
Yeah. Yeah, Carrick McCross. Yeah.
Yeah, Monaghan.
Yeah. But you know, it's just gone ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? I had more stuff there. I'll have a look now in a minute for it. But
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, Paul. They wouldn't be robbing a calf in person anyway. I'd be very disappointed.
It's true.
The money be under the bed, hidden away.
What's the one that they say? What was the Gavin Pepper? It's a Jewish joke, but I don't want to do Jewish jokes. The Gavin Pepper ran into his dad and he says to his dad, Dad, I'm at the saving 40 pence. He said, how? He said, I ran behind the bus. He said, you gobshite, you should have ran behind the taxi, you'd have saved the tenner. It's a Jewish joke, but I didn't want to do anything against hurt anyone's feelings, you know. So here we go. Here's another one from yesterday. Please share it immediately. 2 young boys walking down Doonaree King's Court today at 13:15, approached by 2 Pakistani men in an 09 black Toyota. They think actually it was a black Golf. In a Toyota, they think, who were enticing them to get into the car. The 2 boys refused, walked away. Then the car drove off and turned and came back. Car passed them and then reversed back and stopped where the boys had jumped over the wall. Schools are closing soon. Please spread the word ASAP. I'm not trying to get through to school to notify them. I was trying to get through to school to notify them, as kids will be walking home soon. The guards have been notified. This is only from yesterday, you know.
Yes, I shared that. That King's Court is in Cavan.
Yeah. No, I know. I used to live in Bailey.
You just can't talk like me, Paul. You've got that big, thick Dublin accent, so you have. And I've got the Cavan accent.
That's why I didn't fit in down there. But anyone who's interested, there is a picture of the car.
Yeah.
The black Golf. It looks like it's an 09, is it, or you can't really make it.
Yeah, it's hard to make out. I know. Yeah.
That was at 10 to 1 yesterday. That happened. Look, 10 to 1 yesterday.
I know.
You know,
and you know what's really scary is that these are all attempted. I mean, at some stage they will get a child. Like, that's what's really scary, you know?
Yes. But a lot of people aren't coming out and talking about these because they're going to be called far right and they're going to be called whatever else. Someone's going to ask me there, what time Saturday? 2 p.m. Get there from 2 p.m. 2 p.m. till 6, I think it is. That's what it is. Why don't you tell the refugees welcome? Yeah, that's okay. That was ages ago. Oh, there's loads. Jesus, loads of these now. I'm not missing loads of them. But listen, what's this? All parents in schools must be signed up to a digital form of rainbow globalist communist anti-narrative warmongering as good as offering their children up to pedos. Yeah. The thoughts of Healy Ray being the only minister left in charge on St. Patrick's Day when we have a serious terror threat is frightening. It's not. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They really don't. You know what I mean? The toilet garment, you're on the wrong channel. Job opportunity, border controllers pay well. Well, we need border control. We really do. I'm just going to go down through here. In the schools, they made fathers and mothers sign their children and Ireland up to pedos against joint mass migration. Signing their children up to the rainbow in schools in digital form. Yeah, it's true. Like, I'm sick of it now, to be honest with you. I really am. But that was only 2 of the things that happened this week. You know what I mean? There's the Golf, there's the King's Court. I think that's all I have there from that. I downloaded a few of them, but I'll tell you what I am going to go with now. We're going to move off the subject here now at the minute. I'll go with it now. I'll pull it down in a minute. But Professor Peter McCullough, talking about the vaccines and the shots. The shots. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say vaccines. Sorry.
The shots, the jabs. What do we call them? The shots, the jabs, or the injections. Yeah. Snake
oil. Yeah. But I'm going to go with this. It's only a minute, but this guy is telling you exactly what's going on.
As a doctor, I have never seen something so injurious to the human body. It invades the brain. It invades the heart. It causes brain and heart damage. It invades the bone marrow. It stimulates antibodies to actually start to attack our own platelets and our other cells in our body. It causes blood clotting and damage to blood vessels like we've never seen. Data from University of Pittsburgh suggesting it causes cancer. Since when do we have a protein that actually injures the brain, injures the heart, the bone marrow, the immune system, causes blood clotting, and potentially causes cancer in a single protein? It's a weapon. In fact, there are 3 papers, one by Farkas, published in Military Medicine, and 2 by Yen, published in preprint. They've actually concluded it is a bioweapon. It is a bioweapon. According to strict military criteria, it's a bioweapon.
Yeah, someone just sent me a message.
Yeah, well, I met up with a couple of people last night, right? And we were having a chat about this. And one of them happened to say that they were talking to a nurse in a hospital who deals with dialysis, kidney patients. And seemingly the nurse was saying that she could not get over the amount of ones that were coming in, right? And all the blood is clotted, all of it, right? And they're trying to get the blood kind of thinned out for the dialysis. And she was asked, well, what percentage of the patients, took the shots, And the nurse said, all of them.
Yeah.
So all of them, their blood is clotted.
No, listen, we're not here to scaremonger. We're not here to slag anyone off or whatever, but we have been saying this from the word go about this. Yeah. And people called us anti-vaxxers, scumbags, COVID deniers, and all of this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Information, Paul, is coming from nurses out of the hospital. Like I have a relative, and they mentioned as well, like the amount of young people that are in having heart attacks is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
And not older people, but all young people as well. And we know about the cancer. I spoke about this before in relation to the killer T cells. Ryan Cole, Dr. Ryan Cole, who is a pathologist, and he has explained it. Everybody has cancer cells in their body, right? And you've got a thing called the killer T cells, and they suppress the cancer cells in your body. But what's happening with these shots is the killer T cells are being damaged, which means they're being suppressed. So that means then that the cancer cells are rising up. And that is why there are so many people with cancer. And gone are the days where somebody would find out they have stage 1 or stage 2. It's all stage 3 or it's all stage 4, which is terminal.
Stage 4,
and people are finding out they have cancer and they're dead within weeks. I mean, that used to be so rare. And look at all the people now as well with the likes of Alzheimer's, dementia. You were lucky if you took out your hand and said, right, how many people can I name with Alzheimer's and dementia? You would have said maybe 1, maybe 2 at a push. Now you're using 2 hands to count. Yeah. When did that ever happen?
But I've been watching it coming out of America as well. Okay, the different stuff, right? Since these cholesterol, since they start lowering people's cholesterol, dementia has gone through the roof. Okay, your brain is made up of 80% of cholesterol, and that's a fact. Water, yeah. That's not just me making it up. Yeah. So by you taking cholesterol lower medication,
tablets,
you're not getting the cholesterol that you need. Like cholesterol, like they can't even tell you when they do a cholesterol test if it's good or bad cholesterol. Cholesterol is cholesterol. You know what I mean? That's it. End of story. Like, you know what I mean? But this is what they reckon coming out of America, coming with the likes of Ryan Cole and the whole lot, that this is what's causing it. That there's no cholesterol. The people's cholesterol levels are way too low, and that's why people are getting dementia and everything else. You know, so.
Yeah, but those shots are also crossing the blood-brain barrier as well. You know, and they're not supposed to cross that. And that's with the spike proteins and everything, it's causing inflammation in the brain.
Somebody's putting in there, no matter what I show or try to tell my grandparents about this, they won't hear of it. And their response is, well, we have to trust our doctor. And he said to take it. Stresses me out. Now, listen, I had the same. I was telling my man, dad, and my family, listen, lads, don't take it. Please don't take it. Wait for a while. The doctors were sending them texts, and they were going, and they were just getting it. You know, the doctor said to get it, so it must be all right. Like my dad's arm. My dad can't lie on his arm since he got the first jab. Okay, my ma hasn't been well. Now, listen, it's not just a coincidence. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. The flu shots aren't good either. Exactly, are not. You know.
And they were hounding
want
people
to
with
talk about
text messages.
vaccines.
I mean, they were absolutely hounding people with text messages. It's actually very funny. I never got a text message from my doctor. Must have known not to ring me or text me.
I'm going to be honest, Orla, I haven't been to the doctor since 2019. I have not been to the doctor since 2019. Listen, that's,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I was only in a few months ago. I was in over something else. I can't remember what it was. And it was really funny. Like, I was joking with the receptionist and I just said, just want to let you know I'm alive. I'm, 4 years later, I'm alive. You know, the way you're trying to get like to dig in. You know?
Cholesterol is the precursor for everything that goes on in the body. Yes, exactly. What's this? Chest pains, cheese pains, chest pains. Vegans, what's this? Vegans starve themselves of animal fats. Yeah. And I'm after starting to buy lard now for the chip pan now. I don't buy the oils, I just buy the lard. You know what I mean? John O'Looney, funeral director in England, was talking about these clots.
Yeah.
I follow John O'Looney all the time.
We've seen the pictures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got the vaccine in the arse and I'm fine. Don't know what nonsense you're on about. Duh. Must have a shite. Of course, Mustafa, you'd have to come in, wouldn't you? You're full of shit. You're that full of shit. Your eyes are brown, mate. But you shouldn't have to put a disclaimer in saying, yeah, exactly. If these vaccines were so safe and so effective, why did you need to be coerced? Why did you need to be told, listen, you're not going on holidays? You lose your job. Like, if they were so safe and effective, people would have been queuing up for them. People were queuing up. I understand that. But the test they were doing, the crap up their nose, like, you know what I mean? PCR test. That'll find anything. If you amplify that enough, it'll find anything. Now, I remember going with my son. I went with Harry about COVID was only kicking in. He's 8 now. I'd say he was only about 5. And he was sent home from school. I think he was only in junior infants or whatever. He was sent home from school and he wasn't allowed back to school unless he got a test. You know what I mean? So I went up to the place. We queued for about, there was hundreds of people there, all with kids. You know what I mean? And I went in and there was a kid sitting next to me and he screamed the place down because your man stuck the thing.
Yeah, I know.
And just before your man done, Harry, I just caught your man's hand and I said to him, I said, mate, you stick that up too far. And he cries. I said, I'm going to knock you out. And he said, what? He said, I'm telling you. And the army were there. There was army there with them doing that. It wasn't just Joe Soaps. So he just did a little tiddle and he put it in and he came back. He said, no, you're negative, blah, blah, blah. He done whatever he had to do on the email.
But what were they doing? Like, why were they sticking it up so far? There's no need for it. Like, do you know what I mean?
No need.
And
no need.
What I laugh about these tests is they're the exact same tests that have been used for the last, 4 to 5 years. Does nobody think it's a bit strange? Well, why are we using the exact same test? Why have they never been changed with all the different variants going around? But yeah, it's the exact same test.
It's bullshit. And it's full of, oxyacetylene. I think oxyacetylene. It's that's a cancer.
That's correct, test, yeah.
You know what I mean? What's this? Me too, but it prevented me and my mother making sure of our little whatever. Yeah, okay.
Well, you think about it. You had the maker of the PCR test. What was his name? Carrie Mullins, wasn't it? And he died in 2019 in suspicious circumstances. Yeah. And he said that the PCR test does not work, that it cannot differentiate between a cold, a flu, any sort of coronavirus. It cannot tell the difference. And the only reason people are getting all these positives is because it's ramped up that much in cycles that a fucking chicken walking down the road would test positive.
Well, that's it.
You'll not believe the man that invented it. Sure, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, he was the man who invented it, and he that same man came out and said Fauci was a fraud. That Fauci caused AIDS.
Yeah.
And if you look at what's going on in the UK now at the minute, have you seen the amount of ads for AIDS? The amount of ads, people need to get tested for AIDS. Look, they reckon, listen, again, I'm not going to scare anyone again, but they reckon this is VAIDS. It's called VAIDS, vaccine-induced
deficiency syndrome, is it?
The syndrome, yeah, exactly.
Immune deficiency syndrome, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Vaccine immune, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And that has been proven. You know what I mean? That has been proven. There we go. Facts, you're right, Chris, it is. But it's
all about damage in the immune system. It's that's what it is.
Yeah. Like, I know people who just rang into the job and said, "Oh, I have COVID. Yeah, I have COVID," and they were off for 10 days.
Yeah, I know.
Send that in, and then the people work at my home. Like, I worked from home for. Jesus, our lads are still working at my home. I think I took the redundancy, but like the lads that were there was 4 years working at my home. Come on.
But like, how can you have a virus that is so deadly, do you know, but yet you've no symptoms? Like, dear God Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on.
Mickey Tip, I was stupid enough to get the first two. Sorry I ever got any of them. Listen, Mickey, again, as I said, I'm not knocking anyone, or I'm not slagging anyone off, or I'm not. Like, I'm just stating facts here, mate. That's all I'm doing. You know what I mean? And the facts are out there. You know what I mean? Like, Pfizer's own data.
Fair play to you for admitting it. Like, fair play to you, because there's ones out there and they're on shot number 75 and they're still getting COVID.
Yeah. But the only people that are getting COVID now are people that are vaccinated. Like, I'm going to be honest, Orla, I never did a PCR test. Ever.
I did one once.
Never.
Stupidly, back in the day.
And my missus, they were going down to Achill. They were going down for the week or whatever like that. And she was testing the kids before they went down, and I ran amok. I said, "Don't be testing the kids with that shit." I said, "No, I'm not testing them," and that's it, because it was born in the kids' nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stuff on top of it, yeah.
There you go. Refute, Sean. A virus so deadly you needed a test to see if you had it. Exactly.
That's
and
it.
Asymptomatic. Have you ever heard such crap in all your life? Sure, Mickey from Tip, they had us all fooled. Even though you had the two also. You're lucky you only had two, I'm being honest with you. Because people who had more than two seem to be worse affected by it, to be honest with you. Really
but you have to remember, people have to remember as well, there was an awful lot of placebos given out as well, especially in the early days. So there could be a lot of people walking around that actually did not, like they might have got 2 shots. One of them could have been a placebo. Nobody knew what they were getting.
Robbie Reese there. My missus had a stroke after a third booster. I'm sorry to hear that, Robbie. I hope she's okay. You know, how can we close everywhere because of COVID and now have the doors open for God knows how many immigrants? So
they're not coming in with any shots. No, they're not coming in with anything. Do you know what I mean?
Please come back to Jesus. Please put trust in him. He is Lord. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
But like, when you look at the ridiculousness, like, you could get it if you were standing up in a restaurant, but you couldn't get it if you were sitting down. Like, just nonsense.
Now, I had this argument.
60 euros they got per shot. 60,
was it? I had this row, right? This is no messing. I haven't been back to any of the pubs around here now because they refused me during COVID, okay? And I actually used my brother's. I had a copy of my brother's thing to get into the cinema and the whole lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't wear a mask. And nobody had come out with me. My family, none of them, "Oh, you're not wearing a mask." I said, "Why? This is an obedience thing. This is not for your health or my health. This is just to see how many people will wear this mask." You know what I mean? But the shots and PCR test kits full of colloidal metals, so body sensor naps, hidden researchers, biometric mapping systems incorporated.
There's a lot of people out there that have gotten an awful lot of tests. Say they work in a hospital or whatever, childcare, whatever, and they are suffering terribly with sinus infections and throat infections because of those bloody tests. You know?
Well, now, Dennis, I know someone in a hospital with COVID 6 weeks, came out, took no vaccine. Well, then they hadn't got COVID, mate. How did they know they had COVID, Dennis? Because they took a stupid PCR test that showed that they had COVID. Like, can I just ask you, Dennis, where did flu go? Like, there was something like 30 odd million flu cases in 2019. 2020, there was no flu cases, but there was 33 million COVID cases. So where did flu go to? That's what they did. They rebranded the flu as COVID. That's what they did.
So what did they say? It's never been isolated. It has never been. So how can you have it when it's never been isolated?
Yeah. Interesting that Ireland has the
I will
second
say the likes of, now we're probably going to be shadow banned on this, but the likes of Dr. McCullough and all that, and actually Dr. Zelenko, now I know he's passed, but if you go on to their websites and all that, they have remedies and treatments and all that to try and kind of rid the body off the, you know, what was in the shots. I mean, look, they can't guarantee. None of us, well. None of us know what was in a shot because every vial was different, including
well,
the
every
amount.
batch was different.
Yeah, but every vial as well.
I don't think the vials were. I think the batches were different. I don't think the vials were the same. But I'm just going to say here, interesting now that Ireland has the second highest diagnosis for cancer in Europe in 2024. Why is that? You have to, Davina, what's Davina saying? Colloidal metals in the bloodstream, body. Yeah, no, we've said that already. Yeah. You are being deceived by Satan. Yeah, okay. We're all being deceived.
But if people go on, as I said, if people go on to, Dr. Zelenko or Peter McCullough or whatever, they'll be able to look at the treatments. And a lot of them are just, you can get everything in the local health shop. And at least, you can feel that you're doing something to help. And then there's also a lot of people out there as well that are into homeopathy and their treatments as well. They have remedies against the shots as well, to try and help with, side effects and things like that. But nobody knows what they're dealing with. This is genetic engineering.
There you go. There's Kiki and Jasmine. I got 3 vaccines. The side effects of the 3rd one was horrendous. I truly regret getting them. Respect for people who refuse the vaccines. Thanks very much, mate. I'm being honest with you, because people, I have so-called friends. They were friends that blanked me because of this. And now they know I was right. Yeah. I still don't talk to them because they made my life hell. Made my life hell. I'm being honest with you. There's HIV in it.
Yeah. But you know what the thing is as well, Paul, is that you ask anyone who hasn't taken the shots. I've never come across one person that regrets it. I don't regret it.
No.
I just think, thank God, I saw the truth.
How many people regretted it?
Not anyone that hasn't taken it has never regretted. But the amount of people I know that has taken it and were coerced into taking it, again, hounded by the doctors, they all regret it.
I'm just going to say there, beef dripping and chips. Yeah, it's not Fritex, beef dripping. My ma does that all the time. So, yeah, that's what we're using. Put them on, Michael. Oh, yeah. Hang on. You're open to pour it. I had 2 jabs and then 2 boosters. Can't believe it took me that long. Started looking into it when my mum got long COVID. I trust nothing anymore. Long COVID, again, lads, I'm going to tell you, long COVID is a side effect of the vaccine. Like in 2023, in 2022, they stopped asking you if you were vaccinated going into hospitals because everybody was vaccinated, So, Paul, with all the climate change talk, what happened to the ozone layer? Disappeared, did it? Yeah, well, no, it didn't. Again, get me started on that. I'm 56 years of age. I've gone through 5 of these. We had the polar ice caps were going to go. We had the ozone layer. We have the climate hoax. We
had the dinosaurs go as well, Paul.
Bullshit.
That was when you were in your teens, was it?
Yeah. What did he say the other day? The Jurassic era or something like that. And Trump wants Irish and Ireland to buy his products and anti-cancer vaccines, RNA colloidal metals in them. Listen, I won't be taking them. You know what I mean? I'm a smoker. So listen, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? But in saying that as well, is it Brian Ardis, is it?
Brian Ardis,
doctor in America talking about it. Nicotine cures everything. This is why they're pushing you not to smoke, not to do. Now, I'm not saying smoke.
I gave up smoking years ago.
Yeah, but you still look, you're still grand. You know what I mean? What was this? I thought the 2 they got caught were sick, not stopping coughing for a week. They had to go in PCR test and were bad. They were 75. Most 75-year-old got it, not people my age. But this was it. It was a respiratory that was killing old people. You only had to look in Italy. The amount of people that died in Italy, they were all 85, 90 that died. That's where they got their numbers from to frighten people.
Yeah.
Like, look back on it. If you look back on everything, that's what happens. Like, you know what I mean? Chris Bourne, myself, just got 2 jabs, no boosters. Now, I know loads of people that just got the 2, and there's not a bother on them. But anyone I know who got boosters is sick, and they're getting sick all the time.
And as I said, if you only took 2 shots, there is a good chance that one of them could have been a placebo.
There's Fionnuala there. I regret it. She was coerced. And there we have Tom Garvin. Spot on, Paul. Yeah.
Well, the day will come. I'll tell you. We need what's that brilliant lawyer, Ryan Fulmich, isn't it? And he's been calling out that a Nuremberg 2 needs to be done, and it does. These people all need to be held accountable. All these doctors and everything. Like, how are the doctors not seeing what's going on? I know some of them probably are.
Well, Dr. Jerry Waters will tell you out straight. Like,
Yeah.
I done the trust the science thing with Jerry for a month or two. We must start back doing it, me and him, on a Sunday night. But Jerry will tell you out straight. Like, they cancelled him and everything. He lost his business and everything because of it. He had to sell his practice and the whole lot, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And then you've Dr. Vincent Carroll. Anyone who spoke out against this has been shunned. Vincent Carroll was the head man over the cancer research here, over whatever, and he was dropped from that, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Egypt's here promoting smoking. Peter, the Irish guy. Listen, I'm a smoker, right? What? If you want to smoke, walk away and smoke. I'm not promoting smoking.
I'm off the fags a long time.
I'm promoting nicotine.
Listen, I couldn't bloody well afford to smoke. The price of cigarettes.
Yeah, well, I buy tobacco now, so the tobacco lasts me a few days. But I'm not promoting smoking here at all. I'm talking about nicotine. Like, get yourself a nicotine patch. If you feel any way, aches or pains, the whole lot, you reckon nicotine is the way forward, you know? I hope both mine were placebo. I had to do it force for work. Listen, I know people had to do it, you know? Right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on here. What we need to talk about something else here. Just bear with me there, and I'll just see, can I pull up this video of what happened was Gript Media. If you remember Gript, where did it bleeding hell? Did that not download? No, it didn't. Just bear with me there. But Gript ran with if you remember, do you remember Gript ran with the videos of Kulak? Just bear with me there, and I'll see, can I find it there? It's 2 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. No, that's the Git. Sorry, I'll pull that down now as well. But yeah, we'll move on to the vaccines now. I think we've spent enough time on the vaccines.
Well, actually, we will say something. If anybody wants to speak to us in relation to getting their story across, if something terrible has happened to them and nobody's listening to them, they can come on to the show. Isn't that right, Paul?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because people are not being listened to, and that is not right.
Well, I done a few with Barry from Wake Up Era. Last year, I've done a couple of interviews with David. Did you ever see Dave with the dogs?
Yes, I know Dave. Yes,
I think I heard the other night one of his dogs died. So rest in peace, old dog. You know what I mean? It was lovely. They were great old dogs. Yeah. So someone told me on a group the other night. So
Angel and oh my God, Angel and I can't think of the other dog's name. Oh God, I'll give him a message.
Yeah. But David's sister died. David's sister died.
Yes,
right?
I know. Yes, I know. He told me
the vaccine, and his uncle died the same day. Within hours of each other, they gave the uncle midazolam, and that's what they reckon killed him, you know. But,
I'm just thinking, Dave actually sent me a voice message. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I'm only after thinking I never got to listen to it. Oh, God. Right, I'll get on to him after this.
Now, I don't know when. But what I'm going to go with here, I'm going to play what Gript played. Okay, this is what Gript played. Okay, this was from Kulak last year.
Jesus!
Move back from here now! Coward!
You're the coward!
Yes, scumbags!
Let
them get the woman out! Let them get the woman out, will you? Will you let them help the woman? Let them help the woman! Let them help! Let them help the woman, will you? Jesus Christ, lads!
Spray you, pepper spray. Dirty fuck.
We fucking don't need it.
Yeah.
And he kept giving it to me.
Dirty bastards.
And he moved them from over there when I was raring up on them.
It's disgraceful.
Disgraceful. Dad, you go on back over there. I don't want you getting involved in this. Go on. Whatever, I have to be here.
I'm only thinking of my grandkids.
I know what you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of my grandchildren. My grandchildren. Shouldn't be fucking here, but why wouldn't I be here?
Exactly.
There's that man telling me not to curse.
Oh, listen, he was dead right after what was done to him.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Was me.
And remember as well,
that was me also
and,
shouting. That was me shouting as well to get the woman out. Let them get the woman out.
But you remember Glenn was there, Glenn Moore was there, Malachy was there, and they got pepper sprayed as well. And they were elected councillors.
Yeah, I was there. I watched them all.
And then remember the poor woman that had cancer and she was sitting in the bus stop and she got sprayed as well. Remember, I think Gavin was interviewing her. That was shocking.
That lady was a 61-year-old terminally ill patient. That's what she was.
That was just shocking.
I was running club left because of carry. That's the jabs. We're still talking about the jabs. I was running club left. They carry on because I wasn't jabbed. 5 have heart complaints. 3 were young. 2, 3 marathons, and nobody. It's disgraceful. Like, it's disgraceful. But just let me play this John McGurk thing now, right? This is John McGurk, okay, talking about, because Twitter, they tried to, here, just listen to it.
My name is John McGurk. I'm the editor of Gript Media here in Ireland. Last week, American Vice President J.D. Vance attended the Munich Security Conference, in which he gave a speech outlining what he saw as some of the major threats to European security. He said that increasingly many of these threats come from within, an increasingly censorious attitude to political debates, and increasing comfort with censoring political opponents, and an increased openness to taking previously inconceivable steps, like censoring or overturning the results of elections. At Gript Media, here in Ireland, we have been raising these issues for a number of years. We have written and talked consistently about the atmosphere of fear that sometimes overclouds political debate. People who feel that they cannot say that they think there is too much immigration into the country. People who fear that they cannot talk about levels of crime. People who think that their free speech is slowly being eroded and that in order to stay safe in their jobs, they must adhere to a particular vision of political discussion and debate. It is therefore disturbing that at about the same time that Vice President Vance was making that speech in Munich, we at Gript Media were learning that we had been the targets ourselves of an attempt which I consider to be an attack on the free press. In June of last year, the Irish police force on Garda Síochána went to a Dublin court seeking an order which would force X, the social media platform, to hand over all of Gript Media's personal data to them, our private data, my IP address, the IP addresses of all my colleagues, all the private messages that had been sent to us, both from supporters, readers, or in some cases sources alike, as part of what they said was a criminal investigation into an immigration protest that took place in Newtownland, Kennedy, Ireland, in April of last year. We had covered that protest. One of our reporters had been pepper sprayed in the course of our work. The Irish state used a law, Section 62 it is called, which was originally designed to prosecute and investigate the activities of drug dealers, international terrorists, and money launderers, except in this case, they directed it against a media outlet on the very flimsy pretext that we might have some evidence connecting somebody somewhere to that crime. And for that, they wanted to peer into our private data without our knowledge. I want to be very clear about this. We were given no opportunity to defend ourselves or the rights of our readers in court. We were given no opportunity to respond with legal arguments. We are only aware of this because X and its management team have taken the proactive step of letting us know exactly what the Irish state was up to and what they have been seeking from us, and God knows from how many other people. It is very telling that when the Irish police were challenged on the legality of their act by X, they backed down. They decided not to pursue it, and therefore I'm happy to report that none of our material was handed over to them, nor will it be. This is a responsibility I take very seriously. In journalism, it is very important to defend your sources, to defend your readers, and defend the rights of those who work for you, up and until the point of going to prison, which I am prepared to do if necessary. But I wanted to make this short video today to let you know exactly what's been happening in Ireland. I think it fits very well into the theme of what Vice President Vance was talking about last week. I think when you have a police force in a country with a serious problem with increasing levels of crime, especially violent crime, devoting energy and efforts to try and peer into the private messages of the only truly independent and non-state funded national media platform in their own country, we've got a serious problem here. And that's why I'm very grateful to our supporters, the people who subscribe to Gript and keep us going without any state funding, unlike our competitors, for their continued support. I'm also immensely grateful to X and its management for the proactive steps they have taken in Europe to defend press freedom. And I am grateful too, I have to say, to Vice President Vance for that speech. And I think it was timely that he made it, just as the consequences of the very issues he was talking about were coming home for us. So that's it. That's my update. There'll be more from us across our social media channels and our website and our other platforms in the days ahead. But for now, I just wanted to say thank you.
Fair play to them. Somebody just put in there how many other, sorry, what did they say there? Hang on. How many other social media platforms went ahead and handed it over? I'd say all of them. Facebook, the whole lot. You know, every one of them. Like, you know what I mean? She only have to look at TikTok now. I put up a video on TikTok now, it's shadow banned. You know what I mean? Or I'm getting a community violations order for telling the truth. You know, it's
every time I put up anything on TikTok, straight away it's content under review, because I change it up. I put up a bit of music, I put up videos of the cats just to change things up a bit. And every single thing says content under review. So I'm completely shadow banned.
Yeah, we all are, you know, we all are.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, like, you know. Right, I'm just going to play this Ross Lair thing again, because I'm going to push this out again. We need to get Ross Lair. Everyone, get to Ross Lair Saturday at 2 p.m. So I'm just going to play it.
Another day, another development in this.
Wrong one, sorry. My bad. No. Go on, keep talking there for a minute, and I'll pull this back up now.
Yeah, hopefully there's a good crowd at it now. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be able to make it or not, because I'm in Kilkenny Sunday night. I have a table quiz thing on there, so I'm helping out on that on Sunday night as well. So,
you won't be on the show, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be on the show next Sunday night. You'll all have a bit of peace and quiet.
Having you on, but Thursday, I think we might get you. We might have you on Thursday then as well. Then, so if you're going to miss on Sunday,
well, Paul, I'm making you look good, haven't I?
But someone has to. What's this? Hi, Anthony. Do a stall in Cork. Yeah, okay. We'll talk to Anthony. He's not actually here with us. The court should be in a crap for allowing the guards to do that. Sure, that's data private. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
People are contacting like Gript with like private information, personal information, you know, in relation to stories. Like, they shouldn't have access to anything like that. That's personal.
Who's that there? Christine Dewi. I'll go on it for you. Let me know. We'll talk. Well, send me a message, Christine, a private message there. I can put that across the front of the screen there. There you go. Contact me on 089 203 1521. And as we said earlier, Orla said it as well. Anyone has anything you want us to talk about on this, or you want to come on and talk about it yourself? We had the couple on last week. The reason I didn't put up that interview was my laptop went belly up on whatever day it was, Friday morning, and I only got it back working there yesterday. So that's why I'm back on this. So yeah, if you want to contact me there on 089 203 1521. In regards to
any stories that are relevant and that needs to be spoken out about, let Paul know.
Coffee on the way. Would that be soy or latte? I like an old latte, you know. I'm a bit of a yeah. What's Liz saying there? Couldn't understand why people didn't cop on what was going on. My whole being was telling me nothing added up. Cycled into protests on my own. First protest I ever went to, I felt that strong. I'm the same. Yeah. The first protest, well, not the first protest, but one of the main ones I went to was a mask one in December of 2000. And yeah, it was crazy. But I'm going to play this video here.
You know, actually, Paul, just before you play the video, it was really funny. I ended up going over to England. Oh, this was a couple of years ago. And you know the way you had to wear the masks on the plane, right? And I was devil, like I had the mask down here and I down here and the whole lot. And then I was spending half the time pretending I was drinking, you know, just to keep the mask as much off me as I possibly could. Like, and then I got an email from Ryanair giving out to me over it. You know, because obviously were filming, like they were watching us, like, do you know what I mean? They were like, you weren't wearing your mask. And I was like, so?
Yeah. But again, as I was talking about earlier, I had a row with the doorman, right, of one of the local pubs here. I was left sitting outside, you know, having a drink the whole lot, right? And I went back to him and I said, listen, mate, I said, this makes no sense. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm sitting outside there, and I said, drinking. I said, in the air because I'm not vaccinated. But yeah, I'm still going into the same toilet as everyone else to go to the toilet. I said, where does that make sense? I said, make that make sense, will you? Oh, that's the policy. That's it. That's the policy.
Yeah.
Listen, hold on to your bleeding policy then.
But the best one, I think the best one ever was that your shot only worked if I got mine. Like, that was the best one ever.
Yeah. Air the Force. What's this? Me ma had a Mickey fit at her carer crowd about none being Irish today. Her first Irish one arrived. Salted the earth girl from Crumlin. She was delighted. Terrible stuff. And a lot of these carers now are foreigners, you know. What's Liz Pepper saying? I had tickets booked for Oz and they only lifted restrictions before I went. Yeah. Listen, I said this at the time. If we all say no, they have to let us all do it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't use a false ID because my conscience wouldn't allow me. Well, I'm going to be honest, Liz. The only reason I did it was to go out with the kids. Otherwise, I never used it for anything else. I used to just go to the cinema with the kids. And I think I only went twice. And even going into Pennies, they were asking you for Pennies. Will you get a grip, man? Will you? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to push this again for Ross Lair. So I'm going to play this before we finish up, Orla, and just bear with me there. As you can see there, 20 seconds.
Come on, you young rebels, and list while I sing. For the love of one's country is a terrible thing. It banishes fear with the speed of a flame, and it makes us all part of the patriot game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I still remember, Paul? Do you remember during elections towards the end, they did that nationalist kind of like a slide of us all together? And remember you used to be like going like this?
Yeah. Oh, the song, was it? No, it wasn't the song.
Do you remember that?
Do you remember my T-shirt? Do you remember my T-shirt as well?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
White male, unvaxxed.
Yeah, I know, because you were there and it was like you were at a rave every time it came on.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I love that song now. I did. I'm just going to go through a few of these now. Hang on. I wouldn't use €10 foods was the best. Yeah. $9.50, wasn't it? You had to get a sandwich. Yeah. Must have a shy. I'm a taxi driver. I taxi driver and bus driver from Fingerless, Sound County, Dublin. You're full as joy. That's what you're full of. But one of the lads, one of my mates, one of the lads I used to work with sent me a message. He said, fair play to you, Paul. I love the show. It's the first time I tuned in on Sunday night. He said, you're a natural, he said, at doing this. You know what I mean? He says, but you get your fair share. You get your fair share of trolls, don't you? And I told him, yeah, I did. Exactly, Orla. Also, little clues from Mr. Gates, like we need to job everyone on the planet. Yes. Certain types love to throw their weight around. Yes, they do. They lifted restrictions because 25% wouldn't agree. They were talking that 95% of the population were vaccinated. That's bullcrap.
No,
there's no way. I'd say 60%.
Yeah, I'd say about 60%. Because there's some countries, like there wasn't a great take-up. I think there were some countries like Poland and Romania and that, there wasn't a great take-up at all.
I better give a shout out there as well. Wake Up Era, Barry and the crew at the Garden of Remembrance Homeless Table are doing an information drop on Friday at the GPO at 12:30 to highlight the government's plans to shut down the homeless food tables. So Wake Up Era, if you can get in at 12:30, go in. I might drop in myself Friday. I'm somewhere with my dad Friday. I have to do something with my dad Friday. So.
But isn't that ridiculous? Imagine, remember I've spoken about that a few times about the rules and regulations. They're more worried about that than actually feeding people. Did you ever hear such nonsense?
My daughter passed the clot after the first one and always getting sick since. Sorry to hear that, Liz. I hope she's okay. The establishment and Drew Harris are destroying your constitutional right with false flags. I agree. I was uninvited to family.
You know what? I think you follow me on. Yeah, you do follow me on Facebook. I'll be talking to you. I'll send you a PM.
Yeah, just bear with me there. I just want to.
I was uninvited to a family wedding. Yeah. That was going on.
Lots of people were. Yeah, lots of people. But I'll give you a good one. I went away for Patrick's Day in 2021 or whenever it was. and I'd say there was 100 of us together in the pub. They had lifted restrictions, right, the whole lot, and we were all in the pub. And there were the 100 people that was in the pub. Who do you reckon was the only one who didn't get COVID?
You.
Moi. And do you know what their excuse was? Do you know what friends of mine says to me? Oh, your immune system must be savage. I said, no shit, Sherlock. There you go. The reason why my immune system is savage is because I didn't get vaccinated, and yous all did. So I'm going to just finish with one video here now. The lads of South Dublin says no, and surrounding areas are doing street patrols around town. So I'm just going to play this and then we finish up.
Keeping the L's boardwalk and streets of Dublin safe. There we go, we have a good crowd with us tonight. We need more groups out doing this. Protect the place. You know what I mean? Keep Dublin, and Ireland. Clean the place up.
Yeah, that's it. That's the lads now. I have to say they're doing great work. They're walking around, they're stopping, they're moving these black fellas on and these foreigners on that are messing on the boardwalk and the whole lot. They're doing it all around the place. They're doing it around the Soyak building in Clondalkin. They're doing it everywhere. So big shout out to the lads, and I hope you keep doing it, lads, because you're doing wonderful work, I have to say. You will be waiting, Liz Pepper, but the ones that do are decent people. And there's Liz at the putting up there. Nicotine patches also for side effects. Exactly. That's what I've been saying.
I haven't heard anything with that, actually.
People, I go to Rosslare, I give you lift if you want. If you watch the Irish column, I give you discount, €100 per person. Yeah, listen, Mustafa, stop talking. Yeah, it's also killing people with midazolam. Yeah.
And the ventilators.
At this stage, I think we need to stop calling them the government and replace it with the rulers. These psychos are out of control. Never forget. Listen, guys, it's been... Listen, we went through an awful lot tonight now, I have to say. We spoke about lots. We probably get banned off YouTube and everywhere tomorrow, but hey, listen.
Yeah, I know.
I tell you, we're nearly up to 1,100 there watching live, so fair play to everyone, yeah.
Anthony sent me on a screenshot, was it yesterday before? Was it on YouTube or something? And that was only that platform. We had 1,600 views, and that was only that platform. That wasn't, that wasn't Twitter, that wasn't Facebook, that wasn't anything else. So it's going good.
Well, see, that's what happens. People see that we probably only have about 400 or 500 there on the different channels that we have there going, but we can put this out over 8 different platforms.
Yeah.
I'm looking into a way of putting it out over TikTok as well. So if we can do that, we'll do that.
That'd be a good idea.
There you go. Great show.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Aaron. Fair play to you. Thanks, Paula. Paul and Orla. Many thanks, Paul and Orla. Good night, all.
Thanks, John.
Good night to you both. Good night, lads. Listen, I'll drop you down there, Orla, now in a second.
I will see you hopefully Thursday night.
Let the lion roar, So yeah. So I'll drop you down, Orla. I'll get you back up in a minute, and
no problem.
We will have a chat. Okay. Listen, people, thank you very much. It's been a great show, a packed night, and thank you everyone for tuning in. If you bought us a coffee, fair play to you. If you didn't, don't worry about it. I like latte. I like all of that coffee. So listen, thanks very much. But as I say, every night I'm on here, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless.